Welcome to Map Your Mind, where the ocean whispers of forgotten days, where granite giants rise from the sea like ancient guardians, and where the scent of cinnamon and salt clings to the wind. Today, we journey to a paradise cradled by the Indian Ocean. This is the story of Seychelles, far from the rush of continents and empires. Scattered like shimmering pearls across turquoise waters, the 115 islands of Seychelles drift in quiet beauty. Yet behind the postcard-perfect beaches and swaying palms lies a history woven with mystery, conflict, survival, and stunning resilience. For millennia, these islands remained untouched. No human footprints, no kingdoms, no conquest. Only the whispers of the wind and the slow footsteps of giant tortoises. Arab traders may have glimpsed them as early as the 9th century, marking their mystery on ancient sea charts. But it wasn't until the Age of Discovery that Seychelles emerged onto the world's stage. In 1502, Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama sailed past the archipelago. But he did not land. These islands remained hidden, shrouded in silence. Sailors feared the reefs. Some believed the islands were enchanted. Even the maps called them lost. By the 17th century, pirates began to slip into these quiet bays. Their ships anchored in the shadows, their treasures buried beneath jungle sands. To this day, legends speak of pirate gold hidden on Mahé and Frigate Island, unclaimed, forgotten, waiting. In 1756, France laid claim to the islands, naming them in honor of Jean Moreau de Seychelles, the finance minister to King Louis XV. French settlers soon followed, bringing enslaved Africans to labor on coconut plantations and cinnamon fields. It was the beginning of a society built on contrast, where immense beauty met unbearable hardship. The people of Seychelles were forged in that fire. African, French, Malagasy, Indian, Chinese cultures collided, then melted together, giving birth to a new identity. The Creole soul of Seychelles, musical, poetic, proud, was born. In 1814, the Treaty of Paris handed Seychelles to the British. Under British rule, slavery was abolished, but inequality lingered like a shadow in the sun. Freed people lived in hardship, but they endured. They built homes, spoke their own language, and cultivated a culture rooted in the sea and in memory. Throughout the 19th century, Seychelles became a place of exile. The British banished rebel kings, sultans, and dissidents here. From the last queen of Madagascar to the Sultan of Perak in Malaysia, the islands became a prison of beauty. But even in confinement, stories grew, music bloomed, and resistance took quiet form. By the mid-20th century, a new generation dreamed of self-rule. They marched, they voted, they organized. And in 1976, Seychelles gained independence from Britain. A young republic was born, full of hope, with tropical skies stretched wide above a dreaming people. But peace did not come easily. In 1977, just 1 year after independence, a coup led by Franz Albert René overturned the first president. For decades, Seychelles lived under one-party socialist rule, quiet on the surface, but stormy underneath. Opposition leaders were exiled, and whispers of mercenaries filled the air. In 1981, a dramatic failed coup involving South African forces unfolded at the airport, a real-life thriller in paradise. But Seychelles held firm. By the 1990s, the tide began to shift. The nation embraced multi-party democracy, slowly reopening itself to the world. And with that came a new chapter, one built on tourism, conservation, and global stewardship. Today, Seychelles stands as a rare model of harmony. It protects over 40% of its land and marine area, a sanctuary for coral reefs, sea turtles, and the rare Coco de Mer palm. It was one of the first nations in the world to trade debt for environmental protection. The people of Seychelles understand something the world is still learning, that paradise is fragile and worth defending. But the challenges are real. Rising seas creep toward the coast. Storms grow stronger. The balance between tourism and preservation grows ever more delicate. Still, Seychelles endures and sings. Fun fact, the Seychelles giant tortoise, once thought extinct, now thrives on Île d'Arbre Atoll, a living dinosaur, older than empires, and a symbol of the patience and wisdom of this island nation. This is Seychelles, where time flows like waves on granite shores, where stories are told in wind and rhythm, and where beauty, even when challenged, remains unbreakable. Where will your mind travel next?